last year. And how did it end up turning out? So it's between two things. Either they don't understand what they're talking about, or they were willfully trying to mislead individuals. And when it comes to the Eastern Games, right now, the Eastern Zone Games, these individuals are willfully attempting to mislead people. And I'm glad that callers like you can call in and say some of what they're saying so that we have the opportunity to clear it up. I love it when you're able to call in and do things like that.
I'd like to say something.
Yeah.
When I was a little boy, there was a neighbor in boundary with my mom who used to feud with my mom over demarcation of the land. And I could tell you, I never heard my mother initiate a quarrel over that. Because as far as my mother concerned, she was within her boundary. She stayed there. The neighbor is always quarreling over the boundary. And most time my mom would just either ignore her or just listen to her and say no, nothing. Or sometimes she says just a few words, because my mother never speak much. One day I was standing with my mom, and there was another person there. There was a lady ranting and raving. And I opened my mouth to say something to the lady. Immediately my mouth shut me out. And I'm using that story to make the point that when big people have their thing, you shouldn't include children in it. Or you shouldn't let children include themselves in it.
They're too fast.
You learn to separate things to the extent that it does not affect you, and you all will know that. That if your mom or your father and so have a confusion in the village, you couldn't, as a child, walk past that person and say hello.
Wait.
You see the point?
Again, licks from the person and then from my parents.
Even though let mommy and daddy confusion with them, that other mommy and daddy across the remain their thing. They don't include children in it. And this is the confusion that I don't understand what teachers are doing relative to this issue now. On top of that, I have a problem to an extent, and it's for diplomatic reasons. And I would have, if I had to advise the government at the time, just give them the money and forget that. And give them STEM warnings, strict instructions, and if they violate it, next time they face the penalty. So that all the drama we have in now could have been averted to quite an extent relative to the games, right? Because they are using that, the fact that the money was taken out to not take part in the games. But that notwithstanding, the children should not be used as pawns in that particular situation. You do your work as normal, especially because of the fact that the whole thing is in courthouse now. Yep. When thing is in courthouse, it's normalized, until a judgment comes.
Yep.
And at the same time, what if all the cases that they are making in the courts, the government win it? Would the government have the right now to take back money for the time they didn't participate in things that they should have? That would be a waste of time.
My brother.
Right now, the teachers should understand that they are not doing something right. I'm not backing them in any way in how they're going about doing things right now. Or for a while now.
I'll let you run off before we say something here. Now, what we have is a situation where it seems that Mr. Lydon Lewis believes he is the Ministry of Education. And therefore, he believes that it's probably the union that paying the salaries of the teachers and not the teachers that paying the salary of the union.
One of the reasons why I don't like union is because I've always said that unions have an arrogant attitude and they don't run countries, but they behave as though they run the countries that they're part of.
Some of them help mash up countries.
Well, that's what unions do more than anything else.
No, unions have their use, and I believe
have their place, I know that.
I believe at heart I'm a trade unionist myself, so trade unions have their place, as in any society. But trade unions also have a responsibility that goes with that space that they have in the society. And that responsibility is to ensure peace and stability for the same workers that they say they represent. Yeah? It's for the same workers that they represent. Come on. You're doing things to affect children. Grenadian history has never been kind to people that take children and put them in the forefront of things that children are not supposed to be in front of. Devon sitting right here, and he personally could tell you what happened to the last set of school children that people put in front. or that went on their own and ended up in front. He was right in the room. He saw what happened to them. So he can tell you. So we have to be careful when you're trying to aim at a particular objective to be using people, children, and putting them in front of these things.
As you all guys know, I am in the area of construction. I've been approached many times to get myself into forming a union for construction workers. You know. I explain a whole lot of things to whoever brought it up to me. That's how impractical it might be in the given situation for that to happen. And by the way, there's an issue about, and it reminds me now, there's an issue that I always wanted to bring up. I talk about it to people privately in a sense, or normal conversation, but I never brought it up on this program. There was a lady offered by the Kenyan government to the Grenada government to revive our labor code. As far as I know, she went about and did the work. She presented a report or a new code or whatever to the cabinet. There was a mistake, one mistake in a sentence that could have easily been, as far as understood, could have easily been rectified by the Attorney General at the time. Because of that report, that part of the report, the cabinet did not approve it. It never went to Parliament to become law. And I think that, because right now it is there on the shelves, as you might say, gathering dust. I think it's necessary for implementation of that new report to be considered seriously in this country, because workers are very frustrated in a lot of areas. And we need to understand the criticalness of industrial problems, industrial labor problems. It creates too much confusion in a country. It brings down a country. It doesn't actually uplift. Because people's rights, when it's violated or when it's perceived to be violated, they react in very negative, whereas you see the teachers and them are doing now. And it's impacting on our children and our children's future, on the country's production. Because you can't be paying people just sit down and idle. Because that's what the teachers are basically doing nowadays. There's no question about that. Mm-hmm. I heard there's that child who just won Brain B spelling competition, or the competition that is called Brain B. And one of the tutors was pointing out that the teachers refused to help him. His teachers who are part of the whole, his class and so on, relative to that issue, because the extracurricular activities were being done to help him to boost up himself. And the teachers refused. The teachers refused to help him. So they had to have special tutors for him. But anyway, he won, and he's expected to go to represent Grenada in due time. So you see how critical these things are. They're impacting on our children. Our future is in jeopardy relative to that. And the teachers are not conscious of what they are doing now. They are actually disheveling their own authority, And that's what they need to recognize too. Mm-hmm. They're having children losing respect for them.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not good.
And you see, what will eventually come out of this is that if children are taught to behave in that particular manner, you will have discipline starting to break down.
That's
in
the
the
whole
schools.
thing about it.
It's like, okay, well, the authority who is supposed to be in charge has given a directive, and you don't need to follow the directive if you don't feel like doing it. So in the school, when you tell a child now to do A or B, and they decide, well, me ain't doing that, how can you come and correct them? They'll just tell you, well, when the ministry they tell all they do that, all they ain't do it, so will you come in and tell me right now? How can you discipline
you let
that child?
that attitude fester, it's not going to work. It's going to backfire on you in there. This is why, when you have a confusion with your neighbor also, don't bring your children into it. Let your children stay neutral. Let them continue to relate to the whole issue. Don't integrate them to the extent that they develop attitude towards. They should never have an attitude, and that's why we have an attitude problem in this country right now. Teachers need to understand that. Take care, guys.
All right, thank you.
Wonderfully.
4407377
and 347-329-3101. Give us a call.
So a reminder, the Carriacou Medical Station services at the Carriacou Medical Station have temporarily been suspended and are now available at the St. David Health Center. So you all who usually go to the Carriacou Medical Facility will have to now go to the St. David Health Center. It's all in the interest of the safety of the staff and the users of the facility. So it will be closed temporarily. Yeah, if you had to close it permanently was a different thing. But it has to be closed temporarily so that the can take place and so on. And then you're gonna have the other one open. All right. This Thursday at 9 a.m. you'll be having a Senate sitting taking place. Yeah, so that'll be a Senate sitting, and then Prince Charles is here this week.
Yeah, this weekend.
Yeah, the future head of the Commonwealth, the future King of England. He'll be here this week. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Good morning and welcome.
Hey, good morning, Sheldon and Devon.
Good morning,
Yes,
my
sir.
friend.
Yes, I listen to the program and even other programs in which persons would share their concern on this whole situation with the games and the way some people approach it. But first, I would like to start off by congratulating the ministry through the Minister of Education and her staff that make these games a success. When the children, the athletes of this country, was in a crisis to showcase their talent that could award to scholarship throughout this nation and extended in the world, they could be recognized. I would also like to share some congratulations going out to some of the principals, teachers, and parents that made it their duty to come out to these games when these games was on. I think they should be commended, and I think they should continue to encourage others to so do. So far, you all have been doing a good job. To those teachers, parents, and principals, and union members, along with political activists that is out there trying to discourage the athletes, the parents, the teachers as they go along to not partake in these sports, I think you should be ashamed of yourself. They should be ashamed of themselves, Sheldon. You see, Sheldon, I'll tell you something. At times, we have to stop being selfish and look at the future of things. Because there will be a time when we will be able to say, I partake in this for the good cause of the future, especially for the kids. Because it's all about the athletes. Let me tell you something, Sheldon. Every year is an athlete year. Every year that miss, an athlete miss. And at no time, no one, regardless to what the situation, should try to have an athlete having a miss year, which could miss the future based on the talent that they would have. Because you see, Sheldon, we have to think about the principals as well as the teachers who would have asked some of these kids to take a second year. They could have advanced in their education, probably go on to college and otherwise. But some of the same principals, some of the same teachers encourage these kids to remain, come back for a second year. Right? They stand the chances, and it was a good advice to gain a scholarship with the performance in intercall. Then you come and you say no intercall. Yeah? Then you come now, and because of your selfish gains, you decide to punish the kids by not allowing them to have to partake in a games in which they could be observed by those who are looking, who are scouting for talents outside there, that they could get these opportunities to gain scholarship. It is sad. It is very sad. Again, what I'm seeing, Sheldon, what I've heard from many persons, with the teachers, with the principals, with the union representatives that are trying to debar persons from going to these games. Sheldon, I say to these people, stop abusing your kids. Stop abusing the kids of this country. It's going to have future repercussion upon the nation and yourself also. Because what they are doing actually is teaching the kids and everyone else that they try to discourage from going how to rebel against authority. Sheldon, and the word of God tells us when Samuel spoke to Saul, Obedience is better than sacrifice. But rebellion is worse than the sin of witchcraft. Sheldon, I can tell you some of these people, what could happen after, based on the stance that they are taking now. They would swear say, someone do obey unto them. But if you do good, good go follow you. Again, I congratulate the ministry for ensuring that there is a gain. I congratulate the parents, the teachers, the principals that encourage the staff, encourage the students to partake in the game. But those who went about discouraging, I say shame on you. And you have time to make a change. Make that change for the good of the children and for your character as a teacher, as a principal, and as a union representative of the workers of this country. Thank you very much, Sheldon.
All right, thank you, my friend.
You know, one thing that has happened over history is that some people see themselves doing something now, and in their mind they think that they're aiming at a short-term objective. In this instance, the political activists of the National Democratic Congress are seeing the short term. They're seeing that, oh, we're going to make the games fail, and that might make the government fail. Same way they looked at the constitutional reform process and thought that if they worked against constitutional reform in 2016, that the next election would give them a footing to get into office. Well, we all know how that turned out. Yeah, and they think that what they're doing now, that by terrorizing our children, yeah, it's political terrorism, terrorizing our nation's children, by encouraging quote-unquote teachers and principals to encourage children not to show up and not to come out to the sports and not to participate in the sports and that sort of thing. They think that there's some sort of political windfall to gain from this, but history is not kind to such individuals.
That's all.
During the days of Hitler, you had people who thought that they was doing something good, and they attacking and they doing all kind of way. You know, most of them end up in Nuremberg, and after that they end up at the end of a noose. And you had those people who did nothing to help. You had those people in Manchuria in China when Japan had taken over during World War II. You are going back in history now. And those people and them joined with the Japanese against the Chinese people. You know what happened to them? History was not kind to them. They went against their own people. They went against their God because they had a particular modus operandi in mind. They had a particular aim and objective in mind, and it was not in line with the patriotic and nationalistic. Ask Pui and all of them about that. They did not have the interest of the nation as a whole on their mind. And it has happened time and time again in history, and history will not be kind to those individuals that are partaking in that sort of behavior right now. If you don't like children, leave teaching.
Yeah.
I make no apology for that. You don't like teaching, you don't like children, all you're interested in is money, maybe you need to work in a bank. Maybe you don't need to work with children.
All I have to say, Sheldon, and it's some words of encouragement. I want all the students, the teachers, the principals, right, and the parents in St. Andrews, right? I want all of you to find out a section, pick up something, pick up somebody, and run with it in Progress Park tomorrow. Anything, anybody you meet, run with them. We go into Progress Park tomorrow because this is the Eastern Games taking place in Progress Park. So we running with them.
Just to remind you all as well, remember Thursday is going to be a Senate sitting, which means that we won't have hard talk on Thursday. What we will have, God's willing, because Nenny does always rough me on that. Yes, Miss John, I'll call you in a while. Right, yeah. What we do have taking place on Thursday, Senate sitting, it will be starting from 9 a.m. So via 89.5 and Campeche, we'll be going from 9. Sister Ryle will speak to them to broadcast from 9 a.m. the Senate sitting, so you can hear exactly what is taking place. From what I hear, it might be one of the last time we see the two young senators from the NDC.
Yeah, I hear that, boy.
Yeah, you Claudette and them real what the truth.
I really want to kick out them young fellas. Yeah. Shame on all you. All the hate. You see, it's a reflection of what they're doing on the other side. You see how they're treating young people, the students, of the different schools and so. That is how they teach. That is how they treating the young. They want to treat the young senators. Push them, use them as convenient, and then kick them out.
Yeah, all they feel like they can keep it quiet. He outside, we know.
Yeah.
all they don't know that we know.
All they trying to use the young people. Stop that.
Stop it. Behave yourselves. Yeah. Behave yourselves.
That is why tomorrow, as we say, the young people go find the section and they go pick up everything, all the gears, and they run into Progress Park tomorrow.
Here's what we'll tell you all. Get up early tomorrow, cook your lunch and your kind of thing.
Yep.
Head on out to Progress Park. So those of you in St. Andrew, whether you're in Lakabeke, whether you're in Dunfermline, whether you're in Tivoli, Ahoma, La Poterie, whether you're in Mamacan, whether you're in Cafe, wow.
Or in Ladig, George Grove.
Yes, indeed.
You understand?
Bylands.
Wherever you are in St. Andrews.
Mountain.
Yes.
Yeah, Mirabeau.
Pick up something and come.
All roads lead
to Progress Park.
To the Eastern Zone Games. Because here, some other people want you all to not come out, because they don't want no trophies coming up to St. Andrew too.
Nah, they don't want that.
Yeah.
Again, no trophies again coming up.
They want trophy coming back up to St. Andrew. Right? So students, you all make sure and come on out. Parents, make sure that you engage your children and make sure that they are ready, they are prepared, and they head on out to the games tomorrow. And parents, take the opportunity and go and watch your sons and your daughters participate. And if you could bring your neighbor, if you could bring the grandparents, if you could bring the aunt, if you could bring the uncle, if you could bring one of the siblings, bring them, come. Head on out to the Progress Park tomorrow and participate in what is going to be a very successful Eastern Zone Games.
And not just successful, historic too.
Yeah. Because remember, there's these same people that when we were bringing Intercall, I was a junior minister in the ministry, and when we were organizing to bring Intercall to St. Andrew, these were the same people that was running them out and saying it could never work and it could never happen and all kind of thing. Who was the minister at the point in time? Emlyn Pear. Was the junior in the ministry? Sheldon Scott. Oh, it will never happen, and that can't work, and how they go do that, and this ain't gonna work, and that ain't work. Intercall was held successfully, and the last words on the GBN thing was, many people said it didn't happen, and it was a success. But
and SARS did it.
Leave my friend Godfrey alone.
Godfrey!
Godfrey's my friend. I won't have you.
But I know Godfrey go be there. Godfrey picking up his spikes and everything and come in Progress Park.
Godfrey's a sportsman. Godfrey go in Progress Park tomorrow.
He be in Progress Park. He go be officiating and all too.
Well, if you Godfrey at time to tell you and that. Godfrey go in Progress Park tomorrow.
Yeah, Godfrey come in and take care and take care of business. Yeah.
So watch Progress Park. That's the place to be tomorrow. Anything else we go talk it tomorroon, right? We heading out. Yeah. You realize all of a sudden they dropped the NIS issue happen.
Yeah.
Because we explained things yesterday, you all get afraid.
A hot plate.
You all get afraid.
You see, that's the thing. When you have your facts, right, you stand tall.
Yeah. And folks who looking for Cami, she not there today. She going up golf. St. Patrick's.
St. Patrick's funeral today.
Funeral today.
Her sister is burying.
So she not there. And to our good friend Selwyn Noel. We know today is a tough day for you. Yeah. Kathy Albert, we know you're there as well to keep comfort for him. We know that you're putting your mother to rest today. Yeah. And our thoughts and prayers are with you, our good brother. And may he guide and direct you for the rest of the day and the week ahead. All right, so folks, that's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. It's been a wonderful one. As usual, we had the post-cabinet press briefing, and we spoke about the school games, man. Okay. And one or two other things. We have some callers there that they really explain the thing.
They really hit the nail on the head. And then we had that release on the Ministry of Health informing persons and so in the Crochet area that as of today, the medical station is temporarily closed, and all services will be available at the St. David's Medical Station.
All right.
Okay.
So, folks, that's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. It's been wonderful being here with you. My name is Sheldon Scott.
I'm Devon Romain.
And we'll be back, God's willing, with you tomorrow morning for more Hard Talk. And I feel in a kind of vibes all in it too. I feel tomorrow program is a drag bench program.
Be dragging the bench and then be running with it.
I feel tomorrow program is a play clip program. I feel tomorrow program is a get your lawyer and start taping kind of program.
Mr. Technical Man, you better propose.
I feel tomorrow program. I have a feeling tomorrow program is a end some people political career kind of program. Yes. Yeah, so anyway, watch. Bye-bye, yeah? Look, let me go. We're gone.
Wednesday, March 20th, we head to the Progress Park for the Eastern Zonal Meet of the National Secondary School Games. Come see powerhouses, St. David's Catholic Secondary, St. Andrew's Anglican Secondary, St. Joseph's Convent St. Andrew, Grenville Secondary, and the Grenada Christian Academy. So this Wednesday, 20th March, Progress Park, and then on Friday, 22nd March, we head to the Hillsborough playing field for the Northern Zone, which features Hillsborough Secondary and Bishop's College. Admission to all these games absolutely free. Our nation's children still have a dream. The opportunity will shape their destiny. Your games, your future. Tomorrow's future is here today. Friday, April 5th. Kirani James Athletic Stadium. National Secondary School Games. Run, throw, jump. National Secondary School Games 2019. Your games, your future.
Green Climate Fund appeals to small island states to utilize available funding for capacity building. We'll have details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Monday, March 18th, I am Rikisha St. Louis. The Green Climate Fund wants small island states to take advantage of its offer of $3 million per country as support to develop their adaptation plans or pipeline of projects that should be aligned with their country programs. This is in addition to the $1 million cap per year or per country for capacity building support for strategies in their institutions. During a recent workshop on smart integration of climate change adaptation in the Caribbean, Green Climate Fund's representative, Ms. Jessica Jacob, says small island states need to take greater advantage of these resources.
We are not promoting, and I don't think it's a good practice, and we have seen that in several countries, to take directly the $3 million. If you want to, you can. But we believe that and even more in small island states, $3 million is a lot of resources, and we can do them per phases, for example, So you can think of how you're going to do your plan in hopefully a year, don't take 3 years, Ideally, then next year, depending on what are the gaps, what are the findings, etc., think about how you're going to build the proper pipeline aligned with other efforts that you're already doing with other donors, and then try to really strategize, let's say, in a short term, but it could be as well per sectors, as I mentioned before. It could be more, for example, focusing on the resilience of your infrastructure. So it depends on each of the countries how they want to see it, but the resources are there.
The only Caribbean countries currently utilizing these resources are Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, and the Dominican Republic. Ms. Jacob is urging small island states to start working on the priority projects that the funds can be utilized for, not just at the national level.
So we're developing, for example, with the region, since the structured dialogue in Belize 2 years ago, a regional proposal on how we can support at the different regional and national level, the improvement of everything related to early warning system, articulating the different initiatives that are around there, seeing where are the gaps, investing already in technology, etc. So we're developing as well regional approach, even if we have this national support that I mentioned just before, and a little bit the intention is, no, whoever is there, no, let's use these resources, let's use them smartly. We have learned from different experience, not only in the Caribbean, but worldwide, on how these resources are being used. No, the proposals approved are there in the website. No, we can take a look at it. Grenada
will be the lone Caribbean territory in the international Brain Bee competition in Daegu, South Korea later this year. Giovanni Thomas of the J.W. Fletcher Catholic Secondary School will face the finalists from around the world in the competition in September. He won the National Brain Bee Challenge following intense competition at the St. George's University on Saturday. We get more details from Annette Moore.
The Grenada National Brain Bee Challenge finals took place on Saturday, March 16th at the St. George's University after several zonal rounds to select the finalist. While Giovanni Thomas was declared the winner, Rakiba Caton Bain of Westmoreland Secondary placed second, and coming in third was Joshua Duncan of the Grenada Boys Secondary School. There was a tie for fourth place between Nafisa Bahayat and Naomi Dantrud, both of Westmoreland Secondary. In 2018, GBSS captured the winning title with the outstanding performance of Giovanni De Gans, who later placed second with a 1-point difference from the winner of the International Brain Bee competition in Berlin, Germany. The Grenada National Brain Bee Challenge is a competition between secondary school students from forms 3 to 5, where all questions asked relate to the brain. It is fashioned after the spelling bee competition with 3 phases: 1, a preliminary stage; 2, the zonal stage; and 3, the finals. During Saturday's competition, Giovanni outclassed his competitors by providing an unexpectedly specific answer to the last question posed, which determined the winner. There was the live competition, Phase 1, Clash of the Brains, and Phase 2, Last Man Standing. At the end of the brain bashing competition, Giovanni Thomas took the title.
The question was, what does beta secretase cut from larger proteins leading to increased plaques and elevated risk for Alzheimer's dementia? Our correct answer was amyloid peptides. One of the contestants provided beta amyloid peptides. It is super specific. So, beta amyloids is a protein fragment snipped from the amyloid precursor. So in a healthy brain, yes, beta amyloid will be the best answer in this case.
As his package of prizes, Giovanni received a computer tablet sponsored by the People's Group, a credit union account from Communal Cooperative Credit Union, shares from Ariza Credit Union, the winner's trophy, also sponsored by Communal Cooperative Credit Union, a trip to Daegu, Korea from September 21st to 25th, 2019, and neuroscience texts. The second, third, and fourth place contestants also received special prizes. All 15 finalists received stethoscopes, certificates of participation, and shares from Ariza Credit Union. In the essay competition, Giovanni Thomas also captured first place, receiving electronic gadgets sponsored by Hankey's Computer Services, while second place went to Sekou Sam of the GBSS. There was a tie for third place by Tiha Patrice of Hillsborough Secondary and Amy Chase of GBSS. The Facebook People's Choice Award winner was Corey Boyd of the Presentation Brothers College, who received the trophy sponsored by the Communal Cooperative Credit Union. The School Challenge Trophy went to the J.W. Fletcher Catholic Secondary School and was also sponsored by the Communal Cooperative Credit Union. For the National Report, I'm Annette Moore.
Thank you, Annette. This is the National Report. More news after the break.
This Wednesday, March 20th, we head to the Progress Park for the Eastern Zonal Meet of the National Secondary School Games. Come see powerhouses: St. David's Catholic Secondary, St. Andrew's Anglican Secondary, St. Joseph's Convent Grenville, Grenville Secondary, and the Grenada Christian Academy. So this Wednesday, 20th March, Progress Park, and then on Friday, 22nd March, we head to the Hillsborough playing field for the Northern Zone, which features Hillsborough Secondary and Bishop's College. Admission to all these games absolutely free. Our nation's children still have a dream. The opportunity will shape their destiny. Your games, your future. Progress Park this Wednesday.
Welcome back. The government of Grenada is taking steps to merge two of its flagship projects, the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Climate Smart Agriculture and Rural Enterprise Program (CIAP), into a single program called Rural Development. The merger is intended to bring greater efficiency to the government's work aimed at enhancing rural development and improving the lives of persons in rural areas. The newly initiated joint approach for CIAP is funded primarily by the International Fund for Agricultural Development (IFAD) through a loan and supplementary loan totaling just under $6.5 million, a loan of $3 million from the Caribbean Development Bank, and the counterpart financing of $2 million from government. Contributions will also come from the Grenada Industrial Development Corporation and beneficiaries of the Rural Development Initiatives. The BNTF component of the program is funded through grants from the Caribbean Development Bank, amounting to just over $2.5 million, and funding from the government of Grenada valued at $590,340. Meeting with IFAD officials visiting Grenada recently, Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell said the merger will give effect to much needed synergies and cost savings. Meetings have already been held with various stakeholders, and IFAD is currently finalizing administrative activities in preparation for the first disbursement of funds. Among the initiatives to be undertaken by Rural Development in collaboration with stakeholders are the training of 160 youth in life skills, business support for young entrepreneurs, training of extension officers and fisheries officers, and the rehabilitation of 5 rural roads. Continuing with the news, Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell has pledged his support for cricket competitions in St. Andrew and St. David. At a meeting with members of the newly elected St. Andrews Cricket League executive last Friday, the Prime Minister welcomed the news that the 2019 league features 32 teams competing in 3 divisions. Dr. Mitchell encouraged the new executive to do all within its power to promote the growth and development of cricket in the parish that has created several excellent cricketers. The executive members shared some of their plans with the Prime Minister, including the intention to have cricket year-round in St. Andrew with the staging of a women's competition, a T20 competition, and 2-day matches. The Prime Minister, an avid cricket fan, has also thrown support behind the St. Mark's cricket competition. At a recent prize-giving ceremony for the 2018 competition, which was also supported by Sandals Grenada, Dr. Mitchell handed over trophies and prize money to the winning teams. In addition to congratulating the winners, he encouraged the organizing committee to continue providing a platform for youngsters to improve their talent, while at the same time promoting fitness at the community level. The Prime Minister also commended members of the business community who continue to support sporting events such as the cricket competitions. And finally, Grenada is once again joining the rest of the world in observing World Social Work Day. The Ministry of Social Development, Housing and Community Empowerment, through its Social Services Division, have already begun hosting activities to mark the occasion. The Ministry's Public Relations Officer, Delroy Louison, has the details.
The 2019 World Social Work Day highlights promoting the importance of human relationships. World Social Work Day will be observed on March 19, 2019. It is a key day in the year that social workers worldwide stand together to celebrate the achievements of the profession and take the theme message into their communities, workplaces, and to their governments to raise awareness of the social work contributions and the need for further action. Here in Grenada, it is no different, as the ministry with responsibility for social workers, the Ministry of Social Development, Housing and Community Empowerment, along with its collaborating partners, namely the Child Protection Authority and the Grand Case Roving Caregivers, have been heightening awareness on the work of these individuals and strengthening human relationships. On Friday, 15th March, the ministry took to the streets of Guave and Victoria to meet with community members and visited the residential homes in both parishes. At the end, they gathered at the Cuthbert Peters Park for lunch. Acting Chief Social Development Officer Delroy Date speaks of the importance of human relationships.
We would have visited the two geriatric home, that is Child Memorial Home and Hillsview Home. and we would have made certain presentation there to them, because we know that our senior folks were very instrumental in the development of this country, and somehow they have been forgotten. And we thought that if we are looking at human relationship and the importance of it, we thought that we need to include them. So we would have focused this year on our elderly folks in our community, and that is why we are out here. We basically would have met with them, we would have visited some shut-ins in both communities, and would have let them know how much we are appreciative of what they would have been doing for us.
Public Relations Officer of the Child Protection Authority, Janelle Grant-Hamlet, sees the opportunity as significant.
We're always happy to be able to go out and interact with our clients and potential clients, and just to share the message of the importance of child protection and different issues like that. With the theme being the importance of human relationships, we thought it was good to share information on the different forms of child protection and even the services that we offer, foster care and adoption, and to just raise awareness generally about what child protection is, because some persons have a misconception of what it is that we do. So we thought it was an excellent opportunity to just clarify our roles and to just invite persons to call and get information about the services that we offer.
As is customary every year, the social workers attend church as a unified body, and this year the church chosen was the Grenada W.I Roman Catholic Church this past Sunday. To culminate the commemoration, the ministry will officially open its sub-office in Guave on Tuesday, which will serve the parishes of St. John and St. Mark. For the National Report, I'm Delroy Louison.
Thank you, Delroy. That story just ended the National Report for today, Monday, March 18th. Recapping the top story. Green Climate Fund appeals to small island states to utilize available funding for capacity building. On behalf of all those who made this newscast possible, I am Rikisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
This Wednesday, March 20th, we head to the Progress Park for the Eastern Zonal Meet of the National Secondary School Games. Come see powerhouses: St. David's Catholic Secondary, St. Andrew's Anglican Secondary, St. Joseph's Convent St. Andrew, Grenville Secondary, and the Grenada Christian Academy. So this Wednesday, 20th March, Progress Park, and then on Friday, 22nd March, we head to the Hillsborough playing field for the Northern Zone, which features Hillsborough Secondary and Bishop's College. Admission to all these games absolutely free. Our nation's children still have a dream. The opportunity will shape their destiny. Your games, your future. Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.